Hello everyone and welcome back. In the last lesson we have learned how to create a JSON Web Token using the RS-256 signing algorithm. JSON Web Tokens are a generic technology for sending claims across parties, but because they are so commonly used for authentication, we usually want to produce a JSON Web Token that identifies a given user, so not containing the user name, for example, but instead containing some sort of user ID. So let's remove here the name from the user, and we are going to use instead a standard field called subject. So this aims at identifying which user the HTTP request belongs to. So this is the subject and it's passed in here in a third argument of the signature function. This is the subject property. Now another common need is the ability to expire the web token. So just like the case that the user session that was stored on the server in memory, we also want to make sure that the JSON Web Token expires. So the idea here is we are going to specify the expiration in seconds, and the verification method is going to throw an error if the token has already expired. So let's create here in the terminal a JSON Web Token using RS-256, and by the way, expiration and providing the subject, this also works for JSON Web Tokens signed with AJS-256. It's not algorithm specific, so let's quickly create this token and see it on the screen. It simply looks like a base64 encoded string, so we are going to copy paste the content of this JSON Web Token and we're going to verify it here. And now we are going to have some extra properties printed to the screen. Let's go back here to the terminal and we are going to run the check program that is going to validate the web token using the public key. If we run this program, we are going to see that the decoded JSON Web Token contains here a couple of new attributes. One is the expiration. Another attribute is the subject. This contains the technical identifier of the user. This is another property that got added automatically. It stands for issued at, and this is the epoch timestamp that says when the token was created. Now, if we run this program again inside the interval of 2 minutes, we are not going to get any error. Now, let's wait for a couple of minutes and see what the result would be. A couple of minutes later, if we now run the program, we are going to get an error. And this is because the JSON Web Token has meanwhile expired. And with this, we have concluded our introduction to JSON Web Tokens. We know now about the header, we know about the payload, we understand the two types of signature. We are going to use the second type of signature, RS-256, to implement security in our application. Let's refactor our application to be based upon JSON Web Tokens.